What is going on, everybody? Jumbo Thick here, back with more Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. This is our Rise of the Forsaken campaign. It is 4th edition Warhammer Fantasy, and I will be your GM, your DM for the night, Mr. Jumbo Thick, and I am joined by the full cast and crew of the Unfortunate Fellowship, Mr. Doobie209, Mr. Jumbo Smooth, and Mr. Pierce Galactic. If you care to briefly introduce yourselves before we get into the action.
Hello everyone, I am Jumbo Smooth, and I'll be playing the role of Marius Wolf this evening. I am a pit fighter champion. I'm a stocky young lad. Got a busted eardrum now, gray hair, blue eyes, and ready to get this started.
What's going on, guys and gals? Doobie209, and I play Seamus McGreedy, the bounty hunter general. And I'm just excited to pick up this Jezal, which is going to look like a regular gun in my hands.
Oh, of course.
we're gonna go full enemy at the gates, Seamus style.
We'll see how that goes. How about Mr. Galactic?
That was a really nice reference there, Doobie. Welcome, friends. This is Pierce Galactic. I will be playing Bagadine Bonneau. I think we've settled on a name. A writer. The Ernest Hemingway of his day. Man who's been through many trials, got a delicious, beautiful scar across his face. Been a man of many names, many places, many families. And now he's ready to do some pest extermination.
Yes, indeed. Speaking of pest extermination, last we left off, the Fellowship had found themselves captured in Sealburg, well, more or less taken captive, by a rather infamous witch hunter that Seamus has deep ties with, to say the least. And in so doing, they were held captive in the Temple of Sigmar, awaiting their trial come tomorrow, where they more than likely would have been burned at the pyre. Sadly, that did not come to pass, as Mr. Catch, a long-time acquaintance of one Marius Wolf and Seamus, was instructed by Walter Cole to retrieve information from the Fellowship by any means necessary. After a short torture stint, Seamus managed to break free of his bonds, and with the aid of Marius, escaped from the temple proper. Marius and Bragadine, meanwhile, managed to escape from the temple during the commotion that Seamus stirred up, as he was pursued by the fanatics and Mr. Catch himself. However, before Seamus could find sanctuary at the Silver Thaggy, he was pulled into an alley by Three Fingers, whom, turns out, was in contact with Mr. Gold, and were meeting at Bragadine's house come the next afternoon, well, midday, to venture down below into the depths, below the sewers, into the underground beneath Sealburg, in order to exterminate the foul Skaven brood that has been brewing under the city for quite some time. Seamus was going to reunite with the rest of his companions, but was captured by Mr. Catch, and witnessed the demise of the Strigani, which were given up as a token. I don't even know what to call it. Sacrificial lamb of somewhat by Mr. Bonneau. And he witnessed their utter and total decimation at the hands of the fanatics following the witch hunter Cole. He did manage to break free of that, and Marius and Bragadine managed to, as they were fleeing, we're going to backtrack a little bit. We're covering a lot of ground in this recap. As they were fleeing, they managed to release a long-time member of the Sealburg community in the former priest of Sigmar, Father Fleabiter, whom, turns out, has been alive for a very, very long time and was being held captive in the temple itself. He, however, died a very sad and unneeded death, with a little bit of mercy, however, as he was brought to the Temple of Shalia for healing. And though some of his wounds were currently being treated, not enough could be done for the man, as he was beyond the skill of the sisters and their blessings. Upon his death, the three of you eventually were reunited at the barracks for the Bold Bastards, the mercenary company under Bragadine's command. The barracks was attacked by a group of fanatics. You all repelled them, mostly Marius, and then decided to take sanctuary in Golden Tonics, where many revelations transpired. You ultimately decided to take the route of meeting with Mr. Gold in hopes of possibly, first off, seeing what he was doing, and secondly, maybe securing some kind of aid in the inevitable fight that was to come. However, upon entering Bragadine's household, you noticed that the house was destroyed. There was furniture everywhere, revealing a hole, a rather sizable hole, underneath Bragadine's bed. Who knows how long it's been there. Seamus also recovered in the debris of the house a eye patch that he would recognize belonging to Three Fingers. After seeing this, the three of you, plus the few mercenaries that were accompanying you, decided that you were going to venture down in the hole and find the missing people that you were going to meet. Unfortunately, Bragadine may have imparted a little too much courage upon one of his men, whom, after snorting it, may or may not have run afoul in the sewers, never to be seen again. Maybe he will, who knows. As there was more than just ratmen waiting in the sewers as you ventured forth, tracking, hopefully, the people that were captured. You found evidence of a fight. You found lots of blood, and you also found some kind of unholy abomination that has been pursuing the sewers of Sealburg, and chose to flee. Of course, after detonating the stew gas that it that it permeates itself with, hopefully killing the beast, but who knows. The final remaining mercenary, Mr. Nathaniel, may or may not have been driven crazy by his experiences thus far in the underway, and you chose to take a break, a rest, in one of the hidden tunnels that were underneath the sewers, as these happened to connect back to the mine. And this was one of the collapsed tunnels that Marius recognized, and there was also a secret stash of Mr. Gold's wares inside of this small respite, which included numerous black powder weapons with shot and powder, as well as, well, not so much else, but that was the big find. You were pursued into this room, as Marius noticed, by a Skaven assassin. He wasn't really an assassin. He was actually a gutter runner by the name of Kretch, whom you captured and were beginning to pump for information. However, he was released maybe a little too early, and instead was shot through the throat and killed. He did impart some things to you, so that I hope you remember, specifically about the warren itself. You then followed the path you best thought, leading downwards after Kretch's revelations, and The Skaven Warren of Clan Fleabiter was unfolded before you. As you can recall, there was vast amounts of scaffolding leading down, deep down below. From where you currently are, the ground floor, if it even is a ground, it's an amalgamation of, it almost looks like just burrows, makeshift buildings that have been erected and in just bizarre, strange manners, everything leaning against itself. Who knows how structurally sound anything is, as anything that has been scavenged has to be used in the development of these somewhat sleeping quarters for the numerous amounts of rats, the rat men, that have taken up in the deep underway in this Skaven warren. Mostly the rats that you've been able to see, the vast majority of them left after being led away by the supposed ward leader of Clan Fleabiter, riding a massive bone-breaking rat ogre and pulling away most of his troops, we'll call them, away down a much larger separate tunnel as something was brought to him and then he left. There is, of course, numerous types of pens down below. On the far side of this warren, you see pens full of rat ogres. Not that any of you would know what those are, but it just saves me the description. They are thrashing around, and it looks like they have handlers nearby that have kind of strange dress about them. Lots of leather, probably made from man flesh. You also have pens closer to you that appear to have somewhat more human captives in them. It's hard to judge from the angle that you're at, but you do see some humans. You did see a cage by itself that had just definitely a human hand for sure, dangling through it. And the most notable structure, however, is in the center of the warren, which is a large, it looks like a mound, but it's actually some kind of tent that has an eerie green glow that permeates the warren itself. It is actually what is lighting the environment. So everything is being lit with this strange kind of green glow to it. It may or may not be familiar to both Marius and Seamus, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But you did see a horned ratman, a gray seer, that ducked into the tent after consulting with several rats running around. There were Skaven guards, special guards, outside of the tent that had albino white-looking fur. And there were also heavily armed Skaven that neither of you have ever, well, none of you have ever seen before. These would be storm vermin to the rest of us, but they have wicked-looking halberds and spiked kind of red armor. Looks rusted, not exactly extremely well-polished and kept in tip-top shape, but effective. And luckily for the three of you, you did spot the teams of Jeziles that were perched high above, overlooking the warren. You managed to climb and sneak your way up the very treacherous scaffolding to get the jump on them. Through the efforts of the three of you, plus Nathaniel, you managed to subdue 4 out of the 6 members of these Jezile weapon teams. However, 2 were left standing at the end of your ambush, and a shot run out, nearly taking off Marius Wolf's leg. And that is where we are going to pick up. So, I'm going to say that this is going to happen very quickly. Between the 4 of you, you can easily overpower these rat men, and we're not going to roleplay it because it's going to go so quick, it's not going to matter. The shot did ring out, however. Very quickly, at least the 3 of you, because Nathaniel was in mute horror after witnessing all the things that have unfolded thus far. His halberd is quivering and laying at his side at this point, and the 3 of you set upon the last Jezile team, easily cutting them down. And what are we doing? Silence.
Where were the... Are there any entrances or exits that we can see?
This is a tunnel. You can see that the tunnel goes further in, somewhat in the direction that you think yours was, Seamus. Marius would be able to tell you a little bit better. You have no idea where it goes, but it does go further in. But you are at the lip, where the actual guns were pointing out, overlooking the warren itself.
Yeah, we're at the roof of the cavern, or near the roof of the cavern.
Close.
At least
Yes.
an upper area. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Oh my gosh. That sound. It must. I hope it has not alerted the foul ratman. I would like to stick my head out and do a perception check just to see if I can see if they're mustering to get us, or
you stick your head out of the hole, Bragadine?
No, I don't. I kind of get up and I listen to the edge of the hole, see if I can hear shouting, anything unusual.
Okay. Well, all of this would be extremely unusual, but go ahead and roll me a perception test, and we'll see what you can glean from this.
Let's see. All right, good thing I have that. So 47, 37, 87, 80. I got a 66 under 93.
Okay, all right.
91. 66 under 91.
Okay, all right. With a critical success for hearing.
Mm-hmm.
You are listening out, Bragadine. You hear... Well, first off, there's very strange noises emanating from down below. There's an odd thrumming that appears to be coming from the large mound-like tent in the center.
Okay.
You also can, of course, you hear the slathering, crunching noises of the rat ogres on the distant sides of the cavern that appear to be startled by the loud noise that went off earlier, the thunderous boom of the Skaven Jezile. You do hear chittering, but without looking out, you would not be able to tell from this distance who or what is speaking. It's obviously some kind of ratman, but you're not sure how close.
Do I hear any noises getting louder as if they're coming closer to us?
You do not hear like an alarm or anything of that sort. If that's what you don't hear anything like that. It doesn't sound like the entire camp is up and moving at this point. But you do you can easily distinguish that yes, I should say people. Skaven have been alerted down below to the shot going off.
All right. Gentlemen, we are unknown no more. I don't think they're about to rush us at this moment, but we must either prepare a defense or move forward.
I don't know where that tunnel goes, but we can block it and go back the other way. I feel like we need to get down to where that flashing pulse of glow is, where those cages are. I just don't know the best way to get down there.
I guess we can always explore the other side of this tunnel. But, do we really think we're the type to sneak in and out of here?
No,
Seamus,
no, I do not think that.
Seamus is going to pick up that big sniper rifle.
I was waiting for it.
Of course he is.
Yeah.
You move to pick up, and one of them is just kind of at the lip of the tunnel itself. You move to pick. I mean, you're just drawn to it, Seamus. I mean, this is your kind of weapon right here. First off, you would notice that it has a strange mechanism about the barrel. It's what all of us know as essentially a rifle. This would be the equivalent of a bolt-action rifle, which is extremely advanced for the time period. You're using like traditional powder and shot. This is like a bullet, a rifled bullet. However, it appears to be loaded from best you can judge, and it wouldn't take you long to figure out how to make it work. It is unruly long, though. You have a 6-foot barrel on this. There's a reason why.
As big as me.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. There's a reason why it took 2 people, or 2 creatures, to make this thing work. And from what you saw,
stronger than Skaven, though, right?
You are stronger than them. However, due to the heft and the cumbersome nature of this weapon, you could tell. You saw the 2 attempt to use it, and one of them had the front of the barrel, essentially holding it steady, while the other one was the one who took aim and used it as a pivot. So you get the idea that it needs to have some kind of support on the front of the weapon for it to be effective.
Seamus, perhaps if you had Marius shatter that other one in half, you could use it as a brace. Place it down, and you could use it as a pivot.
Either that, or I can just rest it on this lip here and aim down below. Or your man over there, Nathaniel, wants to come hold it up. I feel like he's not going to be much use of anything else.
Oh, let's.
I will say this, Seamus. Mechanically, if we're going to be talking mechanics, if you want to use this weapon,
Oh yeah.
there is a stockpile of ammunition up here.
Oh shit.
First off, when you look at the ammunition that's being used, you can tell that for us, this would be like a 50 cal bullet. It's huge. It's like a 6-7 inch bullet, right? The tip of this bullet is glowing green. And if anybody except for Seamus were to touch it, since Seamus is resistant to chaotic influence, they would have to start making endurance checks to get corruption. Second off, to make this work, because of the nature of the weapon and how big it is, it does require 2 individuals. If you want to be able to shoot this thing in a round, and then not have to take another round to completely reload and get everything ready again, you're going to need 2 people. So it's going to be you and 1 other person up here, if you want to operate it at full optimal capacity. You can do it by yourself, but it will take a round. Essentially, it'll be more like a traditional black powder weapon, where you're going to have to shoot, and then the next round you're going to have to take your action to try to reload it. Otherwise, I will allow you to, with 2 people, I will allow you to have it because you have 2 people helping, you'll be able to reload it within the same round and be ready to shoot the next, if you want to go this route.
Nathaniel, I'm concerned about you. You have been through so much. I want you staying near the back here with Seamus. He always stays out of trouble, and he fights at a distance. Would you?
Yes.
I know the Bretonnian way is to get up in the thick of it, but I'm sorry, but your Lord commands you to stay back here, work with Seamus, do as he says, and help him with his fire weapon here.
And Nathaniel is like almost a broken shell of a man at this point, but at the mention of him not having to go down into the very scary rat warren, he is all about it, nodding his head, and he approaches you, Seamus, and between the 2 of you, you can figure out how you're going to have him help you at this point. But yes, you have that worked out. I do need to know what exactly we're going to do at this point. Are we going to try to climb down, or are we going farther back into the tunnel?
So going back is the only way out? Only way out?
In this tunnel, it only goes 2 places. It only goes back into the darkness where you can't even see. There is no light up here. I will mention that. It's devoid of light. And then down in the warren is the only two places it goes.
Well, Marius, you want to take Bragadine down there? I can keep you cover from up here.
Yeah, I think the element of surprise is probably going anyway. I probably figured out sooner or later. So
Yes.
We
Come along,
need to
Let's
work
get
out an
in the thick
escape.
of it.
Once you find what you're looking for, I guess me and Nathaniel will climb down to you, or do you want to climb back up?
we'll try to make it back out. We're gonna try to rescue the people in those cages. You might have to give us cover fire. We might have to push on back towards the mighty tunnel.
And
We don't know where this one goes. You
Well-
want to say something to him?
I was just going to mention that yes, you guys can ease. That's the one way all of you know in and out for sure, without doing some exploration.
Yeah.
Well, if everything goes tits up down there, I'll just try to get you the best I can. And I'll slide back the chamber and slide in a bullet, real cool style.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited, bro. I'm excited.
I will mention, Seamus,
Use your
it
best-
does have a scope on it.
Ooh, yes. Oh,
Yes.
Use your best judgment, Seamus, on when you should start firing.
I'll give him a wink.
All right, bracketing.
In that
Your
case, though,
shield
I'll probably grab I don't know, however many bullets I can grab and
There-
just keep them next to me.
There's essentially like the equivalent of like a
Sure.
sack next to this weapon team. It's just a sack, and you don't probably want to ask what the sack is made of, but
No.
you don't even know how many are in there. Quite a few, for sure.
All right.
Nathaniel, again, you must support Seamus, but you must also protect him. Keep your eye out, but stay up here. I would feel much better if you were up here helping Seamus and watching the back for us.
Yes,
Can you do that, my
I
brother?
will do my best. And he brushes some sweat off his face and begins helping Seamus with the very large weapon.
Oh, you make me proud. Marius, lead the way. I am ready.
All right. Maris has his knucks, clanks
Of course
them
he
together
does.
a little.
Mhm.
Clank,
Yeah.
Shield,
Clank them together.
sword.
pick on the back. He takes his miner's helmet and adjusts it, and he's going down there.
Okay, you swing out onto the scaffolding.
One
Marius,
thing that, okay, Seamus,
real
if you
quick.
see any
Yeah, go ahead
any
if you're going to say
crazy
something.
or something that is a flame that you might be able to shoot and spread out to try and make more light down there, or a distraction. It is very dark, and I must say I cannot see. So I'm just saying, if you
I mean, I will say this: like, there's the glow is so bright that it's well lit in here.
never
And
mind.
if you're asking about red glowing barrels, you do not see any, Seamus.
Scared.
That's
Oh,
what
yeah,
it is.
Every level has one.
I mean, no,
Every large room has red barrels.
it's got to have some.
They're
It's got to have
painted
some.
red because you know exactly what they do.
Exactly.
Yep, that's
Everyone
right.
knows the rules. Explosives,
no matter what
painted
game,
red.
whatever game you're playing,
So no.
But yeah, Maris is going to kind of just like peek his head out and go, probably.
Okay. As soon as you peek your head out, Marius, you see a ratman within a foot of you, by himself, climbing up here, and he looks at you and
Can I
goes, ah! And you grab him real quick. You
Can I grab him?
go ahead and make me an attack roll.
Okay. Let's see here.
Hopefully somebody can mute themselves real quick.
That is a 5 out of 70 with my hands.
Yeah. You reach out for him. How many degrees of success is that?
6.
Okay, with 6, you do in fact reach out and grab a hold of him. He does, however, scream out.
I pull him. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm pulling him in quick. And
You pull him in
my hands on
and you put your hands on him.
Put my hands on him. You know?
You put your hands on him.
Yeah. I'm pulling him in quick with all my strength. If he screams, it screams. But I'm gonna try to shut him up as quickly as I can.
He does. He does let out a scream, a squeal, as you pull him in, and then you kind of quiet him down. He's like shaking, terrified. You do hear close by. Well, not necessarily close by. You hear coming from down the way. What? That? Where'd he go?
Marius is going to kind of grab him and whisper in his ear, "You better tell him it's all right, or I'm going to snap your neck." And
nothing wrong. Everything fine. Much. You stupid meat. What you doing up there? Get down now. Hey, yes. Quick, down.
all right,
What are you gonna do, Marius?
I'm gonna snap his neck.
You just quickly snap it. It wouldn't take much effort.
Okay.
You do notice he's wearing it's foul smelling, but you get the idea that it's the equivalent of like leather armor.
I'm not gonna put it on, bro.
Of course not. I'm just throwing it out there.
I appreciate it. Normally I do like to look for armor. I appreciate it. Means a lot.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna put on the Skaven.
Okay. All right. I'm just throwing it out there. A very rusted, foul-looking blade also falls out of his hand.
I'll pick up that blade if it doesn't look like it's tainted or anything.
It looks very ineffective, but sure, you can.
I'll pick it up. Hey, I already got one dagger from one. I'm gonna put it in.
Okay, all right.
Put it in my
You
belt.
can put in rusted sword into your inventory, I guess. That's fine. As you collect it.
Give someone tetanus.
Might need to throw it.
And after that brief exchange, what are you doing, Marius?
Keep us quiet for a little bit. Let's move out. Better be as quiet as we can. And when it goes tits up, Seamus, give him the business. And I'm gonna try to walk out into the catwalk as stealthily as I can.
Okay.
Question mark.
Go ahead and give me a stealth check. I'm assuming Braggadine's going with him, so you also give me a stealth check, Braggadine.
When Marius goes out there, Seamus will look to him. May Sigma guide you, Marius. This will be the last time I see him.
It might be.
It's true. Sigma with you, brother. And I rolled a 27 out of 31.
Okay. How about Braggadine?
I rolled 26 out of 31.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. You begin to creep out onto the scaffolding, the catwalk. Yes?
Sorry, it's 41 for Marius because I forgot it's stealth underground. So.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's good. You begin to creep out there, looking down, and you see a group currently climbing up the scaffolding from the bottom. They're not even halfway up at this point. It looks to be maybe 3-4 Skaven. In similar attire as the one that you snapped his neck. Perhaps they were sent to come investigate the loud noise. They're currently starting to climb up as the other one has not begun to climb down. You do see them about partway down. They don't see you yet. I will say it would be an odd angle for Seamus to shoot at, just because this is essentially straight down. So probably not going to be shooting at him.
Are they climbing scaffolding right now, or like the wall?
The scaffolding. They're climbing the scaffolding, and they're quick, much quicker than you are, even with your climbing skills.
I was about to say I'm really good at climbing. You know,
It's. I mean, these are rat people. They're pretty good.
all right, bro. I mean, I'll give you that one.
I'll give you that one.
But if they're coming up, is there a way we can circumvent them, or is it kind of like this is the one way?
I mean, you know for a fact that the path you took up here is stable. You can try another. You think you could easily, I mean, and there are, and I will say, like, parts of this scaffolding are, like, draped with, like, some kind of linens and torn and chewed through clothes and just anything they could put together. So some of it is covered if you were going to be moving downwards. But the three are coming to investigate, and they're coming towards the hole that Seamus and Nathaniel are in.
Is there anything we can drop on them?
You could tear off a piece of the scaffolding, or maybe you could drop some of the Skaven bodies if you'd like, or I don't know. You tell me. What are you going to drop on them?
Why don't we help them collect their dead friends? Perhaps you could throw them down and knock them off the scaffolding.
How tall is the scaffolding? Quick question.
It's 100 feet from floor to where you're at. It's tall.
Yeah. Racking's idea might be the best, I think.
So yeah, they're about 25 feet up currently.
Maris is gonna grab 2 Skaven bodies, one with each hand.
All right.
And
I love it.
I'm gonna toss them at them or drop them on them.
Go ahead.
Whatever.
Go ahead and give me some ranged attacks. Give me 2 ranged attacks.
Okay.
It's just gonna be a straight ranged attack. You're not getting any bonuses for this.
Oh, it's not gonna be very good. Unless they fail. That's a 49 out of 33.
Okay, what about the second one?
Oh, I guess that's true. The other one is a 27 out of 33.
Okay. I'm not going to say this is going to do a lot of damage. However, it might just because of the fall damage.
You know?
There's 3 of them climbing. The first one, you kind of heave this broken body over this foul-smelling ratman. Some of the blood kind of drips onto your hands. You toss it over, and you hear the one in the lead. What? As he gets hit and falls backwards, easily losing his grip, and he begins tumbling past the other 2. The second corpse you quickly toss takes the next one behind him, full in the face. This actually does damage outright, and as he falls down, he tumbles into the one behind him, and all 3 of them fall to the ground with a resounding squish. And let me roll the damage. Okay. It's so significant they all die on impact. So
Maris is gonna start climbing down as fast as he can.
Okay, yes. I will need climb checks from both Bragadine and from Marius.
Oh shit. That's a 1 out of 80.
Ooh, okay.
We're gonna use a fortune point.
I told you I'm better than those rat men, bro. You know.
Oh,
You didn't believe me.
Not as good as that, but I got a 12 out of 52.
Okay, all right.
So
I'll say
4
this.
levels.
I'll say this. Marius is moving with a pep in his step of one that knows that was really loud, what just happened. And even though these are, very foul, stupid ratmen, they are certainly going to notice the screaming of several individuals plummeting to their death and are going to come investigate. And you're moving so quickly that you easily can span 3/4 of the way down. I'll give you 75 feet with a critical. With several levels of success, Bragadine, you make it 50 feet. So you're halfway down at this point without falling off. So that is your first check. Seamus, are you doing anything in this moment?
I would just be like looking through the scope, I guess,
Okay.
to see what's happening closer to where they're going to land.
Where they're going to be down? Okay, you begin kind of, and it's awkward because it's straight down. So you can kind of get, you'd probably be better looking with your naked eye than looking through the scope. But as you kind of glance over the side, you can see that the pins where they're holding the maybe people are not very far from where they're going to be getting down to the worn floor. You do see the 2 guards for each of these larger pins that are right next to each other. So 4 in total. You see 4 of these storm vermin are turning and beginning to look up, and you see them. One of them point at Marius, who's quickly descending, and gives a cry of alarm. And the jig is up at this point, easily. You do see, Seamus, that as this happens, towards the tent itself, you see the horned ratman, the Grey Seer, stick his head out and starts yelling at his attendants. He quickly pulls his head back in, and both of them go inside the tent with him.
Well, if the jig is up, can I lock and load on that storm vermin?
Okay, sure. Yeah, you could probably get. I will say it would be it normally would be a difficult shot, but with the aid of Nathaniel, I'll give you a straight roll. Now, here's the interesting thing about this weapon, Seamus. If you miss a shot with this weapon, it might explode. Just FYI, it's extremely hazardous. Even if you do everything right, it might explode. We have to roll a D20 every time it's shot.
Oh,
Okay.
And if it rolls a 20, it blows up. So you've got no matter what, you got a 5%, and then you have a 100% if you miss a shot. So just letting you know, you can use your black powder and all of that. It does get a 10% bonus because of the scope on it for shooting. And I will inform you of the damage whenever you finally make a shot. So,
All right, well, I'll say to Nathaniel, get ready, Nathaniel, and I'll put that storm vermin right in the sights.
okay, go ahead and give me a shot.
It's a 17 out of 71.
Okay, and you will be getting momentum for this, so you get momentum out of 71. So that is going to be 5 levels of success. So the base damage for this rifle is 20. That's the base damage. Plus you 5 successes. Plus you rolled a 7, a 27.
A 17.
17. So yeah, the it has impact as well. So the last number is tacked on. So that is going to be 32. And another fun fact that hasn't come up yet: the bullets bypass armor, so it just goes straight toughness and wound damage here. So you put a shot. Don't you have the talent that you can just put a shot wherever you want?
I do. I have Deadeye Shot, and then it doesn't matter, but Sure Shot ignores armor as well.
Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. Good. With this weapon, it doesn't matter. So, but yes.
Yeah.
You can put the shot through his head, through his chest, whatever you want, essentially, and I will tell you what happens.
Oh yeah, it's going through its head. One shot, one kill.
Okay. As it screams out, "Ah!" is pointing up at Marius. The black fur that coats its face, the tufts looking out. You dead eye shot the scope on right on one of his eyes, and just boom, resounding explosion, almost jarring even. And normally, Seamus, with a weapon like this, a black powder, what you are used to, a black powder weapon, you would expect just a hole to appear where you shot. However, as the boom resounds, about a half second later, because of not even a half second, it's almost instantaneous. You see the entire head explode, and there's nothing left. It's just a stump where the neck is. And the body very slowly crumples to the ground, showering Skaven brain matter onto the pen behind him. You can see now through the scope that there are, in fact, humans in this. And many of them wince backwards, being sprayed with gore. And that is going to be it for you in this current turn, Seamus.
Does Marius see that? Well,
Marius is probably a little busy right now, but he definitely heard the explosion.
Probably not looking back at my, behind me.
So I'm going to need...
Oh, nice shot, Seamus.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to need another climb check from Bragadine and Marius.
Uh, 27 again out of 80.
Okay. And Bragadine?
26 out of 52.
Okay. How many success levels is that for you? 26, 36, 46. So 2 levels. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, Marius, you're able to get to the ground, and you still have 20 feet of movement. Bragadine, you hit the ground, and you're not as quick on your feet climbing down as Marius, though it's almost a miracle that you've been able to climb down this well. It was very stressful at several points when some of the bone came loose from some of the scaffolding as you're climbing down, but you have made it to the floor successfully. And Marius, what you see as you hit the ground is you see 3 of these heavily armored Skaven with halberds. And the weapons look brutal. They kind of remind you of the weapons you saw the Dark Elves wielding in Dapone, except for not as elegant. Much more savage in a way. And looks like they definitely have some heft to them, and they are charging towards the both of you.
Can I countercharge with my pick?
You can, I'll say, you have 20 feet, so I'll give that to you. You countercharge towards the nearest one, and the pins are another 20 feet behind them. Okay. And that's where you can see the first of the large pens.
Okay.
You countercharge in the first one. Go ahead and give me an attack roll, and you can have your plus 10.
Okay. I also have infighting. That matters.
That will matter.
Okay. That is going to be an 18 out of, if it's plus 10, 80.
Okay.
For a two-handed weapon.
All right. Marius?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. As you charge this storm vermin, you're used to people shrinking back whenever you charge towards them. Something in this creature, like it's seen true horror at some point. It doesn't flinch away. In fact, it lowers itself further as you charge towards it.
Oh, gee.
And it is going to impale you through your right leg. As it got a critical success on its block.
Oh, damn.
It ducks down low.
Oh, it's my legs. Damn.
Do you have any armor?
No, I don't have any armor.
Yes. Yes. Should have worn that nasty Skaven armor. Too late now.
I don't think
it's fate point.
Yeah, I don't have a fate point anymore. Yeah.
I'll say it's not going to be as much damage as you think, though. It's only going to be 11 wounds.
I do get to subtract at least one wound because I have robust.
Oh, that's right. Yes, that's fine.
That'll be 10 wounds.
10. And let's see here. We roll on this crit table. Oh, yes, I love it. Let's roll it. Get that. Let's find this leg real quick. There we go. There's the leg.
Oh, gee.
If only gold didn't steal a tricky zone.
Low. I need you to make an endurance test, please.
All right. There's going to be a 14 out of...
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
Essentially, as the halberd flashes out, it cleaves into your thigh. A vicious wound normally, but apparently this black storm vermin not as skilled as he though may seem. Perhaps it was just luck, and you felt like your step was going to lengthen for a moment, and perhaps you were going to lose your footing, but you do not. So.
Okay.
You do have a second attack, though. You do not have your charge anymore.
Well, that was my...
Oh, it was your pick. Yep. So, no, you do not have a second attack, unfortunately.
That's it.
So you're engaged with the first storm vermin. Bragadine, is there anything you could do from range, Bragadine?
How far away is the closest one to me?
20 feet is the one that is engaged with Marius. The other two are coming shortly after. They don't look like they're very far behind.
GM question.
Yes.
If I miss, but it's not a critical fail with a pistol, will that hit Marius?
Do you have any points in black
It
powder?
will now.
I don't. I have
Okay.
a ballistic skill, but I don't have any points in black powder.
Okay, if you don't have any points in black powder, you can use the weapon. I'm not going to say it's going to hit him, but the problem is if you don't have points in black powder, you don't get any of the benefits of a black powder weapon. So it's just a straight damage roll. So yeah, it's not going to be as effective as if Seamus was shooting it. But you can make it as long as you don't crit fail. You won't shoot Marius.
Okay, I am going to pull out one of them pistols.
Mm-hmm.
And, by the lady, let me not do what Seamus did to Emma. And,
oh.
low
blow!
Bragadine remembers. And, come on. I got a 20 under 32. So
Okay.
Level of success.
Okay. All right. So normally, that would be a critical from a pistol, but you don't get the benefits.
No, that's fine.
So it is a hit though. It doesn't do too much damage. Well, I mean, it does a decent amount of damage. You real quick, Seamus. You know the base for a pistol off the top of your head?
It is 8 plus the bullet, so
8.
9.
Yeah. So you'll get 9 plus your success levels. So that's 2
1.
success. No, 1. Yeah, 1 success level.
Yeah.
11 wounds. All right. And
then,
are you aiming for the one at that is fighting Marius?
Yeah, that's the closest one, yes.
Okay. All right. I'll say you're able to hit it with a 20. You take it in its left arm. The rounds still have the armor piercing quality, so they do pierce 1 point of armor. However, this thing's pretty damn sturdy. So that is 3, 4, 7. Okay, you take it in the shoulder, Bragadine, and it flinches away. But you've seen creatures be shot by this kind of weapon before, and usually it looks like it hurts a lot. This thing looks like it's hurt, but not very badly.
Oh, blessed lady. Okay.
And then it's a success level to reload it.
Yes, it is. So,
I
and
don't
I don't
have
even know.
anything to
I'm
reload it
assuming
with. I don't.
did you collect powder and shot, Bragadine?
No, I grabbed 2 pistols.
Just 2
That's
pistols.
it.
So yeah, so you have an expended pistol at this point.
I will drop it and move a little bit closer.
All right. Yeah, you don't have any movement yet, but next round you will.
Oh,
so
okay.
for the now, that's where you're at.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
That brings us to the Ratmen. Now it's going to be their actual turn. So we are in a heated battle, Marius Wolf. The one that just got shot, Marius. Oh, I forgot. He's got to make a test. He passed it. Okay. Go ahead and give me a defensive roll, Marius.
Okay, I'll be using my pick.
All right.
Oh shit, that's gonna be a 77. Out of well, actually, that's gonna be a critical fail because I only have 70, so that's a critical fail.
Oh shit!
Oh, no, this is where Marius goes down.
Marius.
I know.
Oh shit, Marius. You don't have any fortune, do you?
Nope.
No. Okay, Marius. All right. Go ahead and roll me a D100.
Okay.
This is for the fumble.
36.
36. Your next action will suffer a -10 penalty. So
Okay.
you're slightly out of position as the attack comes in. It is going to hit.
Is that for just my attack or defense?
Anything for next
Anything,
round?
okay.
Yeah, anything, any action you take next round is going to be at a -10.
Okay.
The attack is going to hit since you crit failed. It wasn't going to hit if you didn't. It's going to hit you in the chest.
Ooh,
with
I got
the
armor
halberd.
at least.
Yeah, at least you're well armored. For 9 wounds.
Okay.
Does that break the skin?
It does. I'll take 1 point of damage.
Okay, all right. Yeah, you take 1 wound as it's a nick. As you flinch back. The pick just wasn't, and you didn't get it lifted up in time. Must have been
No.
the wound you took to the leg must have thrown you off a little bit on your game. The second storm vermin is going to lower his head and charge towards your back, and he actually is going to charge at you. So I'll need you to.
I do have combat master too. Just if you.
Yeah, for
any
if you're gained up on. Yes,
okay.
I remember.
Okay. Am I -10 for this defense roll as well?
It specifically says next round. So
Okay.
this is still the current round. So no.
Okay. That's 29 out of 70.
Good. Let's see here. As he lowers his head, with a critical fail on my part, he as he's charging you, he's and the helmet like slides down over his eyes, and and the tip of the halberd goes into the dirt at your feet. And you don't even really have to block anything, as he just kind of gets stuck there for a second, and he pulls it out, and he's all trying to shift his helmet back onto his face. You get a point of momentum for that. So,
I'll take it.
all right, and the final storm vermin. Normally, you'd see them kind of peel off, and maybe somebody would go after Bragadine, but maybe there's just something in their nature. They just want to gain up on the first person they can. And the third one is also going to charge Marius Wolf. So defend yourself one more time, sir.
That's a 4 out of 80.
Okay, this one is more sure-footed as he's charging towards you, but you do see it just in time, and you're able to swing the pick out and catch the blade of the halberd before it can pierce into your flesh and slough it to the side. The smell of foul rat breath is upon you, Marius, as there are 3 storm vermin in your immediate vicinity. And that will bring us to the top of the round now with Seamus McCready.
All right. Do I need a roll to reload it?
Yes, please. I forgot you would have had to do that last round. So as your free action, so just go ahead and make me a roll. This will be your free action.
Oh, 22.
Okay, critical success. Easily able to chamber a second round.
Oh shit! I rolled another 22.
No, you did not. That's impossible.
On the attack.
It's impossible. It's impossible.
Oh, I did it, bro.
All right, I'll tell you what. With a critical success on this, with this type of weapon, I'll just describe what happens here. I'm assuming you're going to.
I'm going to help Marius.
Try to aid Marius. Okay, all right, good.
Yeah.
You aim down towards Marius, and you see him. For once, he's actually getting hit. He's getting sliced up by these heavily armored ratmen. And you line up a shot, and you taking a breath, and then you see as two of them are thrashing about. The one that's trying to fix his helmet, his head goes up at just the right point in time, and you release, squeezing the trigger. The round pierces through the stumbled Skaven's head, exploding it, and then it pierces into the chest of the one next to him, and they both just explode into a shower of gore and death as you deleted two Skaven with one bullet. And you can make your free action now to try to rechamber another round if you'd like.
I'll smirk, under the scope. 16.
Okay, all right. Easily able to rechamber another round. And that will bring us now to Marius Wolf, as you just witnessed two of your aggressors just be deleted from on up high by Seamus McCready.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm going to attack the one, I guess it's left.
Okay.
That's going to be a 39 out of 80.
All right. Marius, how much damage is that? Real quick.
This has normal pick stats, right?
Yes, normal pick stats.
That would be 21 with
Woo!
22. 22.
Okay.
With,
yeah, it's not going to matter. Yeah, it's not going to matter at that point if it's 22 damage. Dear Lord. Because while the armor is thick, the rat underneath is no more special than any other rat, as you find out quickly, as you easily pierce through the armor of this storm vermin and pierce straight into his heart. As it goes in deep, and then you pull it out, there's a pulse of black blood that splashes across your face, and he is dead instantly, crumples at your feet.
Oh yeah. Is there any more ratmen in the immediate vicinity?
In the immediate vicinity, you don't see any, but you do hear a large commotion from all around you, from the warren itself at this point.
If I can, I'd like to use the rest of my movement to move towards the cages.
Yes, and I will say we're kind of in combat, but not really yet until some more aggressors show up. So it's going to get a little loose right now. You move up to the cages. Bragadine, are you going to do the same?
Yeah.
Okay. So the two of you begin moving towards the cages, and I'm assuming Seamus is on essentially Overwatch at this point?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I will keep that in mind. As Marius and Bragadine make their way to the cages, you see this is a very large cage. The cage you come up to is almost the size of like Thordoom's common area in the Thaggy. It's that big. It's very, very large. The cage itself is made from all kinds of things, wood and bone mostly, and it looks like it's been haphazardly sewn together with who knows what is keeping this thing lashed together, some kind of leather material, some kind of rope, all kinds of things. It looks poorly made. However, it does look like it is made just well enough, as you see the large number of humans on the inside of this cage look to be in poor health. Most of them are in tattered garments, mostly shredded and stained with all kinds of bodily fluids that you can imagine. A few of them look dead around the floor itself, not very well taken care of. You would recognize Marius for sure. Most of these people are residents of Sealburg that have supposedly just gone missing at some point over the years. Many of them, you wouldn't know any of them personally, or at least not in your immediate, not that you can see currently, but you do know these are Sealburg residents. You do know, Marius, as you're glancing in, you see a rather hefty amount on the backside that, at the commotion, are kind of pushing through some of the less well-off individuals. You see about 12 more sturdy-looking men, and these are miners that apparently were captured. And they are of the Sealburg mine, and they're approaching the door for the gate that you are currently at.
Is there a lock on the gate, or how is it?
It is lashed
secured
together, and it looks like what they do is they have this kind of strange locking mechanism on it itself. It has strange runes that are glowing green on it. Not exactly sure what that is. Probably something foul and sorcery.
Yeah. Well, does it look like it has a keyhole or something, or is it just like this special lash?
You kind of look at it, you don't see any hole or anything like that. It just looks like some kind of strange device. Might be similar to a padlock, but you don't see a hole or anything.
Maybe he's going to take a swing at his pick.
At the locking mechanism or at the structure?
Yeah. Well, can I just rip the door off its hinges?
Or do you want to try?
Yeah, I give that a try, I guess.
Okay, you reach out. Go ahead and give me a strength check.
That's going to be a 12 out of 70.
Okay, and as your hand clasps around the kind of a piece of bone and a piece of wood that are this door, give me an endurance check.
Okay. That is going to be a 26 out of 65.
Okay. You feel, as your hand clasps down onto the material, you feel a jolt. And almost like an electrical buzzing. But Marius Wolf is made of sterner stuff. A lesser human might be rendered unconscious and or severely fatigued. But Marius Wolf, definitely not. And you manage to, and you pull with your ungodly amount of strength, and you rip free the door from its hinges. It wasn't even that well built, but whatever magics were placed on this structure is what was keeping these people in. And yeah, you easily tear the door off at this point, and whatever magic was flowing through the structure has ceased. And you see all the people's eyes light up, and the miners specifically begin running towards the entrance where the two of you are standing.
Marius, if they're like about to leave, the miners, you'd be like,
Yes.
Lads, lead the rest of these people out.
What? Is that you, Wolf?
Aye.
Get these rat bastards one fall. I saw some men be brought over there, and he points just across from you, and you can tell that you can see another cage, but you don't see the door because there is some kind of rat warren in the way. Further up ahead in a bend, it looks like you could get to it if you so choose.
Okay. All right. I guess that's probably our next goal if they're kind of getting people out of here.
All right, they begin to some of the men nearby actually reach down and start pulling off weapons off of the dead storm vermin, and many of the people, mostly men and women, are just emaciated, and they begin kind of begin pointing them towards where you guys climbed from. I'm assuming you're going to impart where the tunnel is to leave.
Yeah, I point towards the tunnel. I'm assuming the miners would probably know the best way out of here, probably.
Yeah, if they could make it to the tunnel, they can definitely make it out. So they'll start moving people that way. Okay. It's going to be a slow trip with the people they have with them, but perhaps some heroes can hold off the horde for a while. Who knows? Who knows?
Uncle Seamus is up there,
Seamus is up there. Seamus is up there,
looking down on them.
And speaking of looking down on them, Seamus. As you see all of this happen, I'm assuming you're looking through the scope.
Mm-hmm.
And you're starting to see a mass of ratmen outside of that big tent. And it looks like they're being amassed by several of these ratmen that have like whips and things on their person. And they're currently lashing them and moving them in the direction of your companions. It's a pretty far distance away. You might be able to make a shot, but you might miss. Who knows? But they are getting closer.
There's a green glowing light coming from that tent.
There is.
Do I see shadows, like on the tent walls?
No, you would not. You would not see any shadows. You essentially, what you're seeing, the light coming out of it is where the tent hasn't been fashioned properly, like there's small holes and things in it, and the light is escaping. There's a large one in the roof that looks like it might be purposeful, which is where most of the light is spilling out from.
All right, I'll continue to overwatch.
Okay. Bragadine. This is where you get to play, Bragadine. as I'm assuming you guys are moving towards the next set of cages.
Mm-hmm. I'm basically following Marius. I don't know, 3 or 4 meters, 10, 15 feet behind him.
Okay.
Just trying to keep an eye out, following his lead.
Okay. You round the corner.
Go.
Yeah,
Talking
the two of you.
The prisoners.
Yeah, the two of you around the corner. I'm going to say, just for brevity's sake, you easily dispatch a few random ratmen that are poking their heads out of tunnels, out of little Skaven warrens and things like that. Between the two of you, you can easily mow down a handful of rats by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And you come to the next set of cages. And I say cages because there's more than one here. You see 3 cages. You see Bragadine. One of them is full of men. And they're wearing the colors of the Bold Bastards.
Oh.
You see at least 15 of your mercenary company. You can see the colors. It looks like they've been down here for a little while. They don't have any weapons on them. But as you glance over, you do see where all of their weapons were taken. They're in like a big pile, essentially. Not too close, not too far away. That's in one cage. In the next cage, the both of you see you see essentially, it looks like a couple dead ogres. They're dead, firmly dead, from the way they're laying in the cage. They were slain at some point because the cage door is open, even. The third cage, you see it's an interesting sight. It's a little bit bigger than the other ones. And you see some small squat figures on the inside. They're hard to, you can't exactly see exactly who or what is in there.
Any of them real shiny? Maybe a yellow shine to different aspects of them?
Not exactly.
Okay.
You would have to get closer to see exactly who or what is inside the cage, but you do see figures kind of loping about on the inside.
All right. I am going to run up to the cage of my men.
Okay.
How does the lock look? How are
Okay.
they? How is it where they're contained in there?
Yes. Unlike the cage that Marius just ripped off of, this one looks like a simple lock.
Okay. Does it look like and I'll do a perception intuition check on this. Does this look like a lock that could possibly be shattered with a good swing of a sword, or does this look like a lock where I need to go dig through some corpses for a key?
This looks like a lock that, with Marius Wolf's pick, would easily be removed. Sword,
Marius.
not so much.
All right, okay. I call out to Marius. Marius, help me free these men, and we'll have an army behind us.
Marius would be running over there and
Yeah.
hit it with a pick.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make you make a check on this. The DC's low anyway. You easily shatter the lock off, bust loose. The men stand up. Break it in. He has come for us, boys. Yes, and they begin
to save you.
coming out.
Grab the weapon and
Yeah,
form
you
up.
start directing them towards the pile, and they all begin to re-outfit themselves. Most of their armor has been stripped away, but it looks like some of their weapons are still there, and there's some armor here and there what the Skavens hadn't taken for themselves. But they can outfit themselves with what they have.
Form a wedge behind me, like the knights do with the lamp.
Yes,
I will be the point.
of course. Yes. Let's go, boys. And they begin to gather up behind you. Marius, are you going to approach the third cage?
Yes, the mystery cage? Hell yeah, bro.
You start approaching the cage, and as you get close, you hear, "Oi, this one's a brave one, there he is. Yes. Come here, man. Come here. Let us out. Me and my boys want to play."
That's a weird voice for Teclis.
What is it? No.
You glance inside. As you get close. First off, the figures only appear to be maybe 2.5, 3 feet tall, and there's about 20, 30 of these figures in here. You see thick, dark, black hoods covering most of their face, except for you see a long, thin, kind of like a bulbous on the tip, green nose sticking out from under the hood. And you recognize the claws on the hand that's kind of motioning towards you as definitely a goblin. These may or may not be the night goblins that were in this hill until the Skaven moved in.
That's true. Very true.
Hi, come here, man. Come on. Be a good lad. Let us out. We just want to play with the ratties.
Is the cage similar, I guess, to Bravian's?
Yes, it is. It is very much.
Oh gosh, I'm conflicted right now between my own wants and Marius's wants. How about this? Marius will go to the cage.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you little things out. But don't you try to do anything to the humans in here.
No,
Or I'll
we
kill
would.
every single one of you. I'm trying to intimidate. If I can.
Okay, yeah, go and give me intimidation.
It's a 25 out of 80.
Okay, all right. The one that's doing most of the talking kind of backs up a little bit. Oh, no, of course not. Of course, we trues are ours, ain't we, boys? And you see all of them kind of nodding their heads behind there, very, very anxiously awaiting their freedom.
Ray's gonna crack it open. I gotta see this. You know?
Okay.
It could go very.
You crack it open, And they very timidly do back away.
Marius will kind of open the door and then kind of. He's not backing away. He's going to be looking at every single one as they run past.
Okay, they begin moving past the one in the lead. Oh, there, boys, that is. And they begin pointing further past. And you see barrels, not glowing red. But they do have interesting symbols on the side of them.
Damn it.
And they begin running towards them. And not only do you see these large barrels, but you also see these practical joke-size flails. They're about the size of them. And one of them grabs a hold of him, dunks his head in the barrel. You hear some guggling noises and wow! And they begin running into the warren, one after the other, as these goblin fanatics have been set loose in the the Skaven warren at this point. You the one that let us out. The one that's been talking to you calls back to you, Marius.
Yep.
I gave you this one for free there, man. Just because we's good sports and all. They're keeping the specian right over there.
Marius just nods at him.
And he's pointing a little bit deeper into the warren, in the direction of the massive tent in the center.
Okay, the special ones he said.
That's what he said.
Okay. All right. I feel like Bane right now.
You do.
Gosh. Yeah. Marius just nods.
Okay.
Just can't wait to see the hijinks from this.
It's going to be great.
I know.
It's going to be great. So that begins happening. All right. At this point, they begin to file past, and they're screaming, and you do see one of them, you see a few ratmen beginning to come out of a burrow, and as he screams, it begins spinning quickly, and as he does, he holds the flail out, and he's and he just starts cleaving into the rats and parts of the warren, which then collapse and kills him as it falls on top of him. But he's too out of his mind to care at this point. The fungal brew is strong in the air, and it's also highly explosive. FYI, Seamus. It is. It is. So, if you can find these barrels around now that you've seen them in action, you might be able to shoot those. So that is that. So Marius and Bragadine, are we moving in the direction that your new goblin friends pointed you towards?
Yeah. Would Shane still have line of sight on this this tent or this large area?
Oh yes, definitely.
Okay. Cool.
How many of my men are with me?
You have 12 men, Bragadine.
Okay.
12 minute sacrifice.
In various shapes and states. None of them are in perfect health. Let's put it like that.
Marius is going to take a swig of his healing water as well.
Okay. You take a lone pull on the healing waters that you were gifted, and you recover your toughness bonus and wounds.
All right. But yeah, Marius is definitely going to be moving it as fast as he can towards, Marius is running all the time in this
yes.
chaos.
Yeah, I'm figuring that's the majority of what's happening here.
Yeah, I'm running towards the main tent. If I still haven't seen young Theodore or any of the hostages,
Okay. And you begin moving in that direction. I'm assuming Marius is kind of in front, and then you got Bragadine, and then the men behind him.
I'm assuming, yeah.
Yeah. It takes a few, and this place is literally a rat maze. It's just, there's all kinds of twists and turns. And there's chaos at this point between the normal captives that you let loose, and then the numerous amounts of goblins that are now loose inside the warren, who apparently have begun freeing everything they've come across that may or may not be captive down here. And you're noticing a lot of cages, and not of people. There's a lot of just weird shit down here There's cages full of just like monsters and just crazy things. Apparently, these specific kind of Skaven enjoy slaving, and have taken a liking to the odd monster. So, with that in mind, you think that you have narrowed down a path. I'm going to need intuition checks from the both of you.
Oh, an actually good one. 8 out of 47 for Marius.
Okay. And Bragdine?
17 out of intuition, so that'll be 12, 66, 4 levels of success.
Okay,
Almost
good.
done.
So yeah, between the two of you, you easily managed to keep your direction true through this maze. And you turn a corner and you're in a very open area. And this is the area that many of those very dingy-looking ratmen were amassing, Seamus. And as soon as the party enters this area, as soon as they show up in the lip of this area, you turn the corner, Marius, and you see 70, 80 rats charging you.
All right.
Just and they're screaming, and you notice that they all have shackles on their hands and their feet, and they're not even holding weapons. They're just kind of running at you in like a frenzy. These are what we know as Skaven slaves, but there is a lot of them, and as they come charging at you, you see, or more like feel a static hum in the air. And then you see all of their eyes that are originally these red orbs filled with hate go black. And all their mouths begin to foam. And they begin not only falling upon each other, but in a vicious frenzy of hunger are loping towards you, Bragadine, and his bold men.
Oh, no.
And I want you guys to roll initiative.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Oh, that's the wrong dice.
You as well, Seamus.
1 sec.
Bragadine, quick on his feet, 14.
Okay.
Seamus
Seamus?
got an 11.
Okay.
Marius got a 9.
All right. Bragadine, you were first up. You see this mass beginning to charge towards you. What do you do, Bragadine?
Bastards of Bretonia. 6 wide, 2 deep. Form up on me. We will take the charge and push them back.
Okay. You want to give me a leadership roll?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and give me one.
Oh, come on. Come on. Oh, blessed lady of the lake. Oh. 33.
Okay.
Out of 87. So 55 levels of success.
All right. With a critical
I
success
needed
as well.
that.
You begin calling out to the men around you, and very regimented, and quickly they fall into line. And are you leading said charge, Bragadine?
Yes, right in the middle.
Okay. You unstrap your sword, hold your shield, and then charge forward. Most of the men have halberds. Some of them have swords. A few of them do have crossbows. They're doing the best they can to keep up. And as bolts rain out and they lower their weapons to take the charge, you easily crumple and slay the first line of rats closing in towards you. So I'm going to subtract. Okay. I'm going to subtract 15 ratmen. 15 Skaven slaves are easily butchered within the first few seconds. And normally this would break the resolve of many of these cowardly creatures, but in their frenzy, it's not doing much. You will be fighting tooth and claw in this.
Okay.
And that brings us to Seamus McCready.
Is there still like a general type figure giving them orders?
There are, it looks like 6 of these pack masters is what I'm calling them. That's because that's actually what they're called. These rats with large whips and big cleavers in their other hand, and they're whipping towards the slaves, getting them to push in the direction they want them to go. You do see them. Go ahead and... No, you wouldn't see the other stuff. So yes, that's what you see.
All right. Well, I guess I'd probably just shoot at the one that's the closest to me. If that makes
Okay, one of
sense.
the pack masters.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and give me a shot.
43 out of 91.
Easily. One of them's got his whip lashing, and then as he pulls back to lash one of the frenzied Skaven, you boom put one through his chest, and just like those bodies you saw oh so long ago, a hole perfectly round, about the size of a dinner plate, opens up, and you can see straight through his corpse as he falls forward, dead.
All right.
Would you like to
Pop another one
reload?
in the chamber. Yep, a 39 on the reload.
Okay, easily able to put in another bolt. And that will bring us to Marius Wolf. Marius, before you do anything, go ahead and give me a perception test.
That is a 39 out of 57.
Marius, you start hearing a strange noise. Besides the bloodthirsty cries of the Skaven and their deaths and explosions and craziness happening, you start hearing a strange noise, a ticking noise. Coming from further back, you're not sure where. Coming maybe from a few of those worn little makeshift buildings up ahead. Pretty good distance past the mass of Skaven slaves that are currently engaging the party.
Is it coming from that big tent?
It's not. Now you're not directly in front of the big tent. I should describe this better. You're kind of in like a maze of the warren before you get to the tent. You're close, but not right in front of it yet.
I hear ticking sound.
Yeah, you're hearing a ticking sound.
Does Marius have any? The only ticking I can think of that Marius would have heard is from what's his name? Gosh, I can't forget.
Mr. Sachs?
Yeah, Sax.
Yeah.
Herbert.
Herbert Sachs. Is it Herbert Sachs? Yeah, Herbert Sachs.
Yeah, you.
Fuck.
No, not exactly. No, you wouldn't recognize that. But you do
Okay,
hear
then-
it's audible, which is strange. That it's
Okay.
audible over the dirge of battle. So just food for
Yeah.
thought.
I don't. Yeah. Jumbo Smooth would definitely want to see what's going on, but I don't think Marius would have enough knowledge to know if that is something to be worried about. You know.
Of course.
So, Jumbo Smooth is very worried about it, but I don't know if Marius Wolf would have like an honest like fear response because
Of course not.
kicking, you know?
So let's continue.
I try to role play, bro. You know.
It's fine. Would you like to? Yeah, I will say whether you like it or not. Within the next few seconds, you are going to be enveloped in Skaven slaves. So make your choice now what you're going to do.
I mean, is there a way around these Skaven slaves? I have the impression it was too late.
with that perception test, I'll give you this. You might be able. I mean, this place is a maze. You might be able to cut down a different path and get around somewhere.
Okay.
You will be leaving Bragadine if you do so. Just letting you know. He does work for gold. Just throwing it out there. So do his men. Also thrown in there.
Also valid points, you know.
It's a valid point.
Right.
Maris,
Told you he was giving up on that.
I'm too curious about this ticking, I guess. So Maris is gonna try to go towards the kicking, circumvent as much as he can, but yeah, I'll let you say if that's possible or not.
Okay. All right. The ticking noise is further back. It's past the slaves, but you think that you might be able to go around this other side, and maybe take a different alley or something like that to maybe get there.
Okay.
It's if you're essentially double moving here. You move around and you begin moving. You're actually circumventing the bulk of these slaves because they're only moving in one direction. No need for a stealth check because they're so single-minded in their movement that no one notices you. Unless, are you trying to be stealthy? Let me ask that.
Probably not in this battle. I'm assuming.
Okay.
I'm just like in the open, you know.
All right.
Once I get in the alleys, maybe, but you know.
All right. As you're moving, you do see one of the packmasters does notice you. And while he's not sending anything after you, he does notice you as you begin to duck into one of these kind of side passages, these like rat tunnels, basically. And that will bring us to the Skaven slave's turn. Bragadine, I need you to defend yourself. 4 times.
All right.
4 times?
Yes.
All right, put that
How
shit
many
away,
times?
bro.
Wait, how many times?
4 times.
All right. Sorry, I'm getting a bunch of static from you guys. So
Oh, sorry.
I'm having trouble hearing you. Yeah. Okay. Let me just shield and everything. Okay. First one. Not so great. Let me see. 48 plus 78. That 85. So 58 under 85. So that's 2 levels of success for the first one.
Yes. Are you using your shield?
I am using my shield.
Okay. You push your shield forward and it absorbs the first blow. Go ahead and make your second defense.
Okay. All right. So we got a 3 level success. I got a 46 for 3 level success again.
Okay, good.
That one.
Give me another one.
Okay. Ooh, this is getting better with each roll. That's 4 level success on that one.
All right.
Okay.
Good. Last one.
All right. Let's get hot and come on, crit up with 30. So let me see, 30 out of 77. 4 level success.
Okay, yeah, you're easily. I mean, they don't even have weapons. They're trying to claw at you, and you're easily battering them away with your shield. They're just sheer numbers. It's going to take you a while to chew through these numbers.
I'm invigorated by my men around me.
Yes, and they're doing the same. All of them are easily holding their ground against these creatures, these weak things. However, Bragadine, Seamus would see this as the clicking noise gets louder. And that's when you notice out of these buildings behind the massive crowd that you're in, you see what looks like barrels begin to poke out of the nearby windows. A thatch is pulled free, and you see 3 large Skaven with smaller Skaven sitting next to them. The larger Skaven are holding what looks like some kind of black powder weapon that has maybe 30, 40 barrels on it, and they are spinning.
Oh, damn it, Jumbo.
And there is a connection of ammunition that is straining from the barrels back to the smaller Skaven that are feeding it into the tubes. And the ticking goes into as rattling gun fire is unleashed upon the crowd. Marius is not in the way. thankfully.
Oh.
Let me roll my attacks against all of you. Oh,
As
this
much
is
as I hate
bad.
it, I love it at the same time.
This is so
I
good.
do too.
This is so good.
Fantastic
Oh, yes.
image, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Mm.
As the rattling fire begins shredding in to the slaves as well, most of them eat up most of the shots. However, Braggadine, you witness as 8 of your men are riddled with bullets to the point that they drop dead instantly. Yourself, Braggadine, you take one in the shoulder for 11 wounds. This bypasses armor. So it's just straight toughness and vigor.
Okay.
And I need you to make me an endurance roll.
All right. You said 11 wounds minus toughness bonus?
You can take your toughness bonus for this.
Endurance?
Yeah, go ahead and give me an endurance roll.
We're going to use another fortune point.
Do it. Go ahead, do it.
Oh, dude, that was a 92. Yeah.
Please do.
All right. Oh, we got a 43, 42. All right, out of 57. So I got 1 level of success.
Okay, that's fine. You only take 1 point of corruption from the bullet passing through your body.
Yay, 1 more.
You only take 1 instead of 2, so that's nice. But you're almost in open shock, and you didn't get riddled with more because the slaves in front of you took the brunt of what was happening. But now you're in just a field of death, and the Skaven with the rattling guns are just mowing down everything, just strafing the battlefield with fire at this point. And that brings us to the top of the round. With Braggadine, it is your turn, sir.
Is there any cover within my movement range?
I will say you're in the center of the battlefield because you charged in. You can probably take cover behind the mounds of corpses piling up if you'd like. Or you can give me an athletics test and we'll see if you can reach one of the nearby kind of worn tunnels.
All right, I'm doing my odds here. So I've got about a 28% chance to make that athletics test. I've got 1 fortune point left, so I can re-roll it. I wish we could do a viewer's choice on this. Does he hide or does he run? So if I hide, I'm still going to be out there in the field, and just
I will say I will give them. If you want to make a stealth test, they were going to be getting penalties for shooting at you. The bodies are starting to pile up quick.
All right. We're going to do an unbraggadine thing and not cower. We're going to do a very braggadine thing, and we're going to run.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and give me athletics test.
All right, viewers. Here it goes. You heard I got to beat a 28. I rolled 14.
Ooh, 1 level success. Okay, Braggadine. You after the initial volley, and they're strafing back and forth, just mowing people down. After seeing your men just completely decimated, you take off in the opposite direction of where Marius Wolf ducked by because you didn't see him duck away. You go to the other side as you begin running and taking cover behind the dead as you're moving. And you make it to apparent safety, at least as much safety as you hope you can find in one of the nearby offshoots. Your 4 remaining men, let's see how they do.
Oh, they rolled 11, bro.
They're charging. They're following your lead. The 4 men, and the one in the rear. As he's moving towards you, a Skaven jumps up and grabs a hold of his leg, and it distracts him for just enough that he pulls back to brush away the slave, and as he does, he's riddled with fire. And he just falls back dead. As you've lost another man, so you have 3 left. The 3 do make it to you, though, Braggadine.
All right.
And that brings me to Seamus McCready. It is your turn.
Do I see Marius?
Well, I will see this. From your point of view, you would see Marius duck off. You wouldn't see exactly where he is. Mm-hmm. But you do see the crazed rattling gunners just opening fire on everything. There are
in that case,
three of them.
Since I don't see where Marius exactly went, then I would just pop off on the rattling gunners.
Okay. So there's three. Which one do you want to shoot at?
I guess I would probably try to judge where Marius is going and then do the one that was in that path. Okay.
There'd be the one further on the... if from your point of view, the one furthest on the left would be the one that you'd be shooting.
Right. That's a 21.
Okay.
Out of...
are you aiming for the gunner, or are you aiming for the guy feeding the bullets in?
Probably the gunner, since he's the one pulling the trigger.
Okay. The amount of damage is so significant. As you... Boom! The shot goes off. The gunner, as he's strafing, just suddenly explodes bodily as the gun just goes up and drifts. Still shooting as it's on the ground, just kind of shooting in a circle. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. It easily sprays his... it sprays the small rat that was helping load the weapon, easily killing him instantly, as it's just in a loose circle, just spraying about, unleashing death upon all. However, it doesn't hit the rattling gunner next to him, but you have taken out a weapon team, Seamus. And at this point, Seamus, I need you to give me a perception test.
Oh boy, here it comes. That is going to be a 38 out. Can I use my success levels on this or no?
Yes, you can.
All right, so then that's a 38 out of 96.
38, 58, 68, 78.
That was it.
5
levels?
4? No, it's 4 levels. Okay. You don't see anything, Seamus. You just hear the sound of death and mayhem as you are, boom, just unleashing, Sigmar's holy wrath upon these rat men. and that's that. So do you want to go ahead and reload your weapon?
Yeah. That's a 3 on the reload.
Okay, yeah, you easily managed to rake in another bullet. And that's the end of your turn. That brings me to Marius Wolf. Marius, you are in the... you're kind of on the offshoot to the side. You hear what happens. You hear the guns unloading. It is a cacophonous noise to the point where, like, it's even hard to hear anything else over the buzz, the thrum of the rattling guns. You didn't actually see it happen, but you did hear it. Are you continuing forward?
Yeah, most likely.
Okay. As you continue forward with your movement, you come up and you see the shattered remains of what looks like there's a building in front of you, or whatever passes for a building here in this warren. And you see the top of it has been uncovered. And it looks like this was some kind of weapon emplacement. The rat here has been exploded, and it looks disgusting. And this is up essentially the second story, so this would be about 8-9 feet above you. But you do see it, and then as you glance over, you can see there are 2 more of these weapon teams that are unloading in the direction of Bragadine and his men. At least the last place you saw them.
Okay. Marius would try to get up there and try to kill him.
Okay. All right, go ahead and give me a climb check, because you don't see anywhere to just walk up some stairs. Because there may not be any.
8 out of 70. Or 80. 8 out of 80.
8 out of 80. Easily scale your way up. And you're in essentially the pillbox where the rattling gun was going off. It's dry at this point. It looks like all the ammunition's been spent. However, I need you to make me an endurance test, Marius.
It's a 30 out of 65.
Okay. You glance to your left, Marius, and you see a large pile of warpstone ammunition that's just laying there. And the heat that it's putting off begins to kind of sizzle across your skin, but you don't take any corruption yet.
All right. Do I see the rattling gun teams?
You do see the one next, the one closest would be the one that's technically in the middle. You would have to make a jump to get to it. I will say you still have your action. So if you would want to take the jump, you can, but you wouldn't be able to attack on the same turn.
Okay. Do they see me yet?
Oh, no. Oh, definitely not. They are in you can tell they're in glee. They're laughing and just unloading into the scene of carnage, which as you glance over, you can see that there is just death everywhere. They're unloading into their own people. They're killing their fellow Skaven, just unleashing holy fire upon them. It looks like several of Bragadin's men lay dead in the field where you last saw them. But you don't see the man himself. That doesn't mean he's not buried under something, but who knows?
Would I be able to jump next turn and attack?
Yeah, I'd give that to you. If you wanted to use your movement to jump and then attack, you could do that if you'd like.
Then that's what I'll do. I'll kind of wait till next turn to jump
Okay.
and then attack.
All right, so you're positioned, ready to strike, Marius. That brings us to the Skaven's turn. The Packmasters, having seen Bragadin and his friends begin to gum down the side tunnel, begin whipping the Skaven slaves in their direction. Bragadin, several of your men, seeing them coming, form up a good defense and slay a few of them as they come towards them.
I'm so proud of them.
However, seeing the resurgence of the Skaven following you, the weapons teams shift over to the building you're behind. And this is a building that is made out of, how do we say, scavenged material. And they are going to attempt to shoot through it and kill you. So let's see how this goes. Holy shit. Holy shit.
They're all dead.
I'll tell you what, I'll put those crits on your men. How about that?
When?
Unless you want to take one.
No.
Okay, Bragadin. You hear... And there's just... as they start mowing into the whole area that you're in. Easily, the building next to you begins to crumble and holes just open up all around you, Bragadin. You instinctually cover your head and crunch and kind of make yourself small. And your men, all of them, do not have the ability to do so as you do, as they're caught off guard standing. And all of them, one after another, are riddled like cheese with bullets. It looks like a scene from The Godfather. And then they just kind of fall against the far wall, and all of them are dead, Bragadin.
I was thinking more Last Samurai.
Last Samurai? We can go Last Samurai.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Mowing them down. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, that just happened. And that's the end of the round. So it's your turn, Bragadin.
All right. Is there different cover I could move to now that I am alone?
No. As you
the lone warrior.
As you glance up around you, the building that you were crouched behind doesn't exist anymore. There's just nothing. There's just a little piece that you're behind, and the rest of it's gone. It's just been mowed through. It's just shattered everywhere. You glance around and you think that you could scramble up, and if you move in the direction towards the gun closest to you, you feel like you might be able to get out of its field of fire.
That's actually what I was going to ask. How close are they to me?
You're looking probably about 60 feet or so. Not like a clear run, but they also have a 10-foot elevation.
Okay, so I might be able to get below where they can't depress the barrel.
Yes.
I am, with the Bretonian curse, I muttered to myself, Bagadine, you're going to have to do this. Why do this alone? And I will, a little bit of jinking back and forth, but full throttle, full blast out there. Maybe looking for a depression I can kind of throw myself into as I head towards the guns.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you steal your courage and kind of jump over the remains of the shattered building, running across it. I shouldn't even call it a building, really. But you begin running across it, and
firewood now.
You can see a better field of view now, and you can see that pretty much all of the Skaven slaves are dead at this point. There's very few of them left, like maybe 10 or so. You have 4 of the packmasters still alive, and one of them sees you and points. And the one closest to you is going to charge at you, Bragadine. So you have the opportunity, since it's still your turn, if you'd like, to attack first, if you want to. Or do you want to keep just going towards cover?
How close are the guns to me now?
Okay, if you launched over the side, I would give you the first 30 feet. So you're looking at least another 30 feet to the guns.
What's the range on that last pistol?
On the pistol? It is, let me make sure. All right. It is going to be... Okay. Pistol is 20 feet. Just out of range.
No worries. I will alter my course to charge the packmaster.
Okay. You charge towards him. Go ahead and give me an attack roll.
Yeah. Let's play the lady, 44. Let me see. Hold on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. 57. So one level of success.
Okay. How many wounds is that, Bragadine?
Okay, so that's 4, 5, 10.
10?
10.
10?
Yeah.
And you were charging, so you get one more. So we'll make that 11.
11.
Which is just enough to slice right through this rat man as he charges through you. You alter your course and just with a vicious slice, cleave him in half. As he, it doesn't even realize what's happening, and he stumbles in twain, falls about your person. And then you glance up, Bragadine, and you're standing in the middle of the killing field. And that's the end of your turn, Bragadine.
Damn it.
Let's see how this goes. It's going to be great.
Free action drop.
Free action? What are you going to do with your free action?
Drop into the mud and burrow like a worm.
It's too late. It's too late for that.
I know.
It's too late. That does bring us to Seamus, though. Seamus, it is your turn.
Well, I see Bragadine now, like in the middle of himself.
Yes. And there's almost nobody else around. However, you do see both of the weapons teams gleefully point their rattling guns down towards him. Seamus, nobody, you don't necessarily have to help him. Could make a dark deal here. Maybe some of your corruption goes away.
Well, I do maybe like corruption.
Maybe you just decide that you need to take aim better this round.
Maybe you can finally wash some of the blood off your hands.
Where's my boy Marius? Do I see him?
You do see Marius in the pillbox of the rattling gun that you exploded, that you killed. You do see him poised, ready to jump to the next one.
then I will just move down the line and hit the one in the middle.
Okay. The one in the middle is the one he's going towards. There's a one further on the right that is not exposed right now. Do you want to hit the one Marius is going towards or the other one?
The one that he's going for, are they behind any type of cover?
No, none of them are behind cover for you. From your angle, definitely not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to clear a path for my boy Marius.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a shot.
Ooh, 16.
Okay, you easily. I'm assuming you're going for the gunner still, right?
Yes, unless they have anything like glowing green on them. That's Seamus would think is explosive.
You would be able to see the ammunition back behind the rattling gunner. Big pile of glowing green ammunition. It's probably highly explosive. Who knows? Warpstone does weird things.
Yeah. Seamus had experience with green glowing orbs before, so we'll aim for the green glowing stuff.
Please do. And with a 16, you easily hit it. This is going to be fantastic. So, let me see here.
What a big explosion. Kaboom.
Marius, I need you to give me a dodge roll, please.
This is going to be like in Joe Dirt.
All right.
Dang.
All right, let's see. Settling. That's a 9 out of... Dodge. 55.
Okay. Marius, you hear the boom, and then a half second later, you see a bright flash, and Braggadine, you would see the flash as well. As the round connects with the pile of ammunition, as the gunner is just screaming in ecstasy, the explosion envelops him and his aide. They are completely enveloped in a green, fiery explosion. They instantly die. The concussive force that resonates off this shatters the building that they are within. And Marius, you managed to dodge shrapnel coming from across the next little path you were about to jump to. You are not impaled with anything. However, the building collapses beneath your feet, Marius, as you are... And then it begins falling across you, and you are now buried underneath all of this refuse. The final gunner, however, let me roll, is unhindered. That part of the building apparently stays intact as he witnesses this happen. And he kind of glances over unassuredly, not sure what exactly just happened, and then moves the barrel back towards Mr. Bonneau. And would you like to reload?
Yes, the reload was a 39.
Okay, easily able to chamber another round in. That brings us to Marius Wolf.
Well, I guess I am trying to get out of this pile now.
Go ahead and give me an athletics test, Marius.
Okay. $30 out of 49.
Okay, you do manage to kind of and you like push some shit that was on top of you, push it off to the side, and you're able to pull yourself out to open ground. You still have your movement.
Could I climb the other side of the structure? To get to these rattling gunners?
Trying to get to the last gunner. I will say with the angle and everything, you would get right up to it. Not necessarily able to attack though.
Question.
Would you like to do? Yes.
The structure.
Yes.
Could I run full force and like hit it with my shoulder and try to like knock
and
it
try
down?
to knock it loose?
Yeah.
I would allow that if you had your action to do so.
Okay, that's fine.
But unfortunately your action was to dig yourself out.
I'll just kind of I'll just kind of try to get to a point where the Gatling gunner can't see me.
Oh yeah, he's definitely can't see you even where you're at now, where you just pull yourself out, very unsuspecting.
Then I'll try to set myself in a similar position as I was before, kind of ready to try to climb up or move into a better position to get in the following turn.
All right.
Makes sense.
At the end of your turn, the rattling gunner spins up the gun for a third time, pointing it directly at Bragadine Bonneau, who's in. Yes.
Oh, I don't have my action, do I? I don't have
Nope,
my action.
no
Never
action.
mind. Continue on.
He begins winding up the gun, Bragadine. This can't be happening.
You crit him? Shit, Bragadine's dead. Swiss cheese.
No, you rolled 100, right?
Bragadine, the gun, and before it does that, he goes, and it stops, it jams. He's, and then he smacks it a couple times, and then it,
Uh-oh.
boom, explodes. And there's just fire raining down and you kind of shelter yourself again, Bragadine, and there's nothing left of the pillbox. It's all gone.
I kiss the hilt of my sword and say a quick prayer to the lady.
Yes, of course you do. And as you do so, Seamus McCready, you feel a point drive through your back as you and then you see, as you're looking forward, you see a throwing star enter through Nathaniel's neck and out the other side as it falls off the side of the scaffolding. And that's where we're going to take our first break.